What if happiness is not what you think? I know that sounds weird to say, but I want you to just be open to this. What if happiness is not what you think? See, we have an idea of what happiness is. We have an idea of what happiness should look like. And a lot of this starts at a very young age. We're fed information. We're programmed to believe what happiness should look like, conditioned to see happiness a certain way. Maybe it looks like a good job, nice size house, a wife, a husband, 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Maybe it looks like a great career, a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, somebody important. Maybe it looks like being rich and famous. We have so many different ideas of what happiness is, but what if all of these ideas are completely false? See, happiness is not an idea. Happiness is not a thought. Actually, it's inverted. All of your ideas of happiness is what creates unhappiness. Unhappiness is just a thought. Happiness is unconditional. Any idea of happiness would then create a condition. You imagine happiness to look a certain way, to be a certain way. Happiness should be like this, not like that. So we condition happiness. Happiness is unconditional, but then we create the conditions to experience happiness. Happiness is limitless. But then we create the limits to experience happiness. And all limits are self-created and imagined. So we create limits. To happiness. And we see these limits as problems, obstacles to solve and overcome, to then experience the happiness that we seek. So in a way, we're playing a game with ourselves. Because it starts off as unconditional happiness. That's too easy. I want to work for that happiness. I want a nice underdog story. One day being happy, overcoming these challenges to then be happy. I want to search in all the different places for this happiness. Big house? No, not there. Beautiful wife? Not there either. Successful career? Not there either. Sports car? Nope, not there. Hollywood? Not there either. Drugs and alcohol? Not there either. So then I go out seeking for this happiness in all the wrong places. And the only thing that's preventing me from experiencing happiness is my idea of happiness. The only thing that's preventing me from experiencing happiness is a thought. What I think happiness is. Without that thought, I'm happy. What I think about happiness, what I think happiness should be, is the obstacle to experiencing happiness. What if happiness looks like this? What if happiness looks like that? See, happiness doesn't look a certain way. Thinking that happiness should look a certain way is the limits that you are placing on happiness. It's the condition that you are placing on happiness. Remember, happiness is unconditional. It's limitless. Saying it has to look a certain way would be a condition, would be a limitation. Now, without that condition, without that limitation, without that thought, you experience happiness. And it's that simple. There's happiness for no reason. You think that there needs to be a reason to be happy. And again, that's another limitation. That's another condition that you have set up. I can be happy at the end of the day. I can be happy when I get the raise. I can be happy when I'm a homeowner. I could be happy when I have 2 kids. I can be happy when I make it. This thought, this idea of what happiness should be, is a funny game that we play. It's this game of holding happiness hostage. Happiness is inherently free, but we seem to imprison it with all of these limitations that we build up around it. If only I can just break these limitations that I'm creating and set this happiness free. All of these limitations that I'm creating, I just need to overcome these limitations to then maneuver my way around, over these limitations to then get to my happiness. And it's all a mental game. That we have this idea of happiness, but it's a big idea, right? It's not just a little idea, it's a big idea. It's our dream of happiness. I'm dreaming of one day when I'm happy, one day I'll be happy. the dream of happiness. And until I'm happy, I'm forever chasing the dream. I'm a dream chaser. I'm seeking happiness. And because I'm chasing that dream, well, that implies that it's running from me. I'm chasing happiness. The pursuit of happiness. Chasing happiness. That's another condition. That's another limitation. That too is part of the game. That's implying that happiness is running away from you. You can only chase something that's running away from you. But happiness is here. It's not running away from you. But you don't experience happiness here because you have an idea of what happiness should look like. So you're resisting this moment. You're resisting the happiness that is here. And you're seeking for what is not here, which apparently seems to be this happiness that only looks a certain way, that has to happen for a reason. But what if it's already here? A causeless happiness, a happiness that's unconditional, a happiness that's ever present. And what if the only thing that is preventing you from experiencing this happiness is your idea of what happiness should be, your mental projection, that you project your idea of happiness and then you go and chase it? But what if the happiness is here and it's always been here? What if you're actually rejecting it? Because you're insisting that it look a certain way. No, happiness can't be this moment. Because this moment is not, it's not lining up with your dream. It's not lining up with your expectation. I expect happiness to look like X, Y, and Z. So this moment doesn't meet your expectation. And that's another limitation. Any expectation is a limitation. But without that expectation, there's just happiness. See, it's not about really breaking limits. It's about realizing that you are creating the limits, and then you just stop creating them. What you are is limitless. Life is limitless. all limits are self-imposed, self-created. You're creating happiness. You're creating limits to your own happiness. So expectations are a limitation. Without that limitation, there's just happiness. There's no expectation of what it needs to look like. If you don't know what it should look like, you aren't off looking for it. You wouldn't even know what to look for because you don't have an idea of what you're looking for in the first place. It's not missing. It only appears to be missing because you've created this image of what happiness should look like. So in a way, it's almost like this manhunt for a missing person. You can only search for the missing person when you know what they look like. Red jacket, beard, short hair, about 5'9", 170 pounds. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Now the search begins. See, without that image, you don't even go searching. So you have an image, a mental image of what this happiness looks like. And now you're searching for it, looking for it everywhere. Where is it? It's not there, it's not there, it's not there. You're looking for it in all areas of life. When it feels like you're close, dang it, that happiness had just slipped away. It's so sneaky. It likes to hide, that's for sure. But one day I'm going to find it. It's a game, though, because it's not even missing. You just think it's missing because you've created the image of the missing happiness. So you had to create the image of what happiness looks like. And the image then looks different than this moment. So you print out this image. Maybe it looks like one of those vision boards. Right? That's really what you're saying. It's not really a vision board. It's your happiness board. This is what happiness looks like. Model body, big mansion, vacation home, boat, beautiful wife, family, nice car. Your happiness board. That's what I'm looking for. But it's not this. See, it's just not here yet. But one day, I'm working on it. Happiness is something that I got to work on. No, it's not. But if you have that idea that you need to work on your happiness, then you'll be working on your happiness. That'll just be another game that you're playing. But happiness is effortless, no work needed. Happiness is limitless, no limits. But when you're tired of looking for this missing happiness, maybe you just come back. right here, where it all started. And you're so tired of looking, so tired of seeking. You just rest. And you're so tired, you're not even creating that image of happiness anymore, because that takes effort. You're just done with the search. You've printed out the picture. You've posted it on the mailboxes. You've went around asking others, have you seen my happiness? I'm looking for it. Can you help me find it? Yeah, I'll help you find it if you help me find mine. You're looking for it too? What does yours look like? Oh, yeah, I haven't seen it. Have you seen mine? You haven't seen it either? Okay. Let's look together then. But when you're done with all of that, maybe you just call it quits. Stop looking. You just rest here. And when there's no effort being made, expectations take effort. An image takes effort. Dreaming takes effort. Searching takes effort. Even resisting this moment takes effort. But when there's no effort being made, what's that? What's this happiness for no reason? Something kind of feels off. I mean, I'm not even doing anything, and I'm happy. Exactly. When you're not doing all of that, you're not doing what you're used to doing. You're just being. You're being happy. That's what people are after. I want to be happy. You don't want to do happy. What's your dream? I want to do happy. Oh, yeah. Me too. No, you want to be happy. Being happy starts with being. When all that doing ceases, all that effort drops. There's no more doing. There's just being. Being happy. And then you realize it's always been here. You realize it's ever present. This happiness is causeless. You don't need to work for it. It's free. It's not going anywhere. No one could even take it away. It was never hiding. You just thought it was hiding. Doesn't look like anything in specific. It looks like this moment. It's happiness appearing as this moment. And you realize that you are happy. This moment I am happy. And you realize you aren't separate from this happiness. That actually you are this happiness. I was looking for myself as happiness. all I ever wanted was myself. The pursuit of happiness. What a game. Hopefully this helps. See you in the next one.